And can anyone please confirm if my screen is visible and if the slides are changing?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's visible.
We can start.
Sure. So welcome everyone to this bright and lovely day, to the valedictory session of the 2-week online refresher course and faculty development program on advanced research methodology, tools and techniques. The organizing team welcomes the chief guest, Professor Ramesh Gaur, our principal, Professor S.P. Agarwal, our collaborators, teachers, colleagues, and our enthusiastic participants. The program was organized under the Ministry of Education's Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching in collaboration with Assam University, Silchar. Programs like these are an excellent forum of discussion and exchange of ideas amongst the academic community. So to provide a kind of sneak peek into what conspired in the last 15 days, please allow me to present it as a tiny capsule or a presentation. So following the Ministry of Education's 4-quadrant approach on developing and designing a course structure, we were able to engage participants from across the country and into a range of topics. It was with great consideration that these topics, as you can see on your screen, for each day were selected and presented to the participants for enriched and fruitful engagement. And our valued resource persons made this entire process look so easy and so seamless. We will always be thankful for these great minds for the knowledge support they have provided us. The program had a total number of 3 live sessions and 14 recorded sessions, which translated to about 68 videos with discussion forum for each day. There were 10 quizzes and 5 assignments and feedback for every session. Not only this, we tried to resolve every query of the registered participants and have an increasing viewership of our video modules even as I speak. To be more specific and transparent, we asked the participants a few questions in the form of an overall feedback and regarding the different aspects of this 2-week refresher course, and the response was quite overwhelming. So around 98 participants were quite happy with the portal, with our LMS on which the course was done. And almost the same percentage, more or less, was very satisfied with the user interface. We asked the participants about the number of hours they had devoted, to complete this program, to engage with the video contents. And around 89% had given from 3 to 5 hours to this program daily. 97.7% of the participants, they felt that the sessions were, they reached a satisfactory mark for them. They were nicely covered. And around the same percentage were quite happy with the excellence of our resource persons. So overall, around 97.6% participants, they tell us that the overall contents of the program, it crossed their satisfactory level, and thereby they agreed that the overall knowledge production or the knowledge addition was quite good, because of this program. So this aspect of knowledge addition has been very much also reflected in the learning outcomes. The participants were able to, understand the very basic but important fundamental things around research design and analyzing data and research outcomes, and how to use different open source tools for the same, and also understand the basic the intricacies of research ethics and the techniques of visualizing data. This is obviously shown in this very important and very motivating slide, that around 98.4% of the participants believe that they will recommend their colleagues and their friends to join the faculty development programs at Ramanujan College. So it is quite overwhelming, and it is quite a pride moment when the participants or we get this kind of response from the participants. So thank you. This was a very small capsule which I wanted to present. So thank you for bearing with me. And to begin with the formal proceedings of today's session, may I please request Professor S.P. Agarwal, our principal, TLC Director of Ramanujan College, to welcome the dignitary and deliver his welcome address.
Thank you, Shipra. Thank you for the exhaustive report you gave for last 14 days. Good morning and welcome to one and all present today with us in this valedictory function of 2-week faculty development program oblique refresher course on advanced research methodology. Our collaborator for this program is Assam University Silchar. And once again, welcome to our chief guest, Professor Ramesh C. God, who is not only Dean, Director, Library Information Sciences, Head Kalanidhi Division, INGCA. Basically, not only he is a good friend, but he's a top class educationist and a researcher. Sometimes we feel that being he is from library science, that probably he is much more into library science, but I have seen the kind of background and interest he has changed the way research and library is being associated with. And he is very good in ICT techniques, because in this program, incorporating such a person as chief guest is really a asset, and I'm sure you will learn something out of him. So thank you very much, sir, for joining us this morning on Sunday. And thank you that you are always available to us, and basically a friend of this institution. Well, sir, let me tell you that as you know that we are very much into capacity building for teachers from all over the country. And this is again one of the initiatives that, how teachers should engage themselves in research. And we have done various kind of programs in research and ICT, MOOCs, as you know. But this is a special program in which we wanted to train teachers how to do research using various tools. Now, research basically does not really mean, as I said in the inaugural ceremony also, that research is not only that what you do in your own subject. It is basically sometimes you get an idea and then you explore that idea. It can be interdisciplinary, it can be involving 3 subjects, it can be anything, because most of the time we want to concentrate or remain confined to our own areas, which may not be true in a research, because research should be done in the area of your interest, in the area what your heart says is important. So what I feel is that for research idea and then developing that idea. See, most of the time we have undergone this procedure. Professor God will share more knowledge in this regard, that a good supervisor always tell you, okay, you have this subject in mind, okay, go and read as much as you can, and then come out with a systematic idea, and then we will develop the methodology, the tools required for analysis, and then the interpretation and analysis. So all these things are extremely important. Another important thing today is the role of technology in research. See, technology has become is so friendly. If we learn that, things become easier. Earlier days, I remember we used to get it typed, used to get it settings done, so many things. But today, by click of a button, you can do everything yourself. And maybe these days we have to submit the hard copies, but time will come that there is no hard copy required. So things will become much more easier. Similarly, see, the research should be beneficial to the society at large. That is very important. And research, not only research for the sake of degree, but it should be an innovation which can lead to maybe a commercial the usage. Because today in COVID environment, you must have seen that government of India, as well as the India as such, has gone into too far into Atmanirbhar Bharat, or the development of the startups, and to compete with the best in the world, like Chinese and other economies. So how can we do that? Only with the help of R&D. And R&D need to be applied through the industrial collaborations, because unless until we do that, like you must have seen that the development of vaccine in which India has an edge. See, the situation is, I'm again repeating this, that maybe R&D must have been done jointly by India or AstraZeneca or any other company, but the manufacturing hub which is available with us, the technology which is available with us for manufacturing the vaccine is extremely important. And that is why you must have seen that the way we are heading in this direction is much, much better than any other country. So what I'm trying to say today is not only R&D, but M is also very important for further development in this direction. And if we want to compete with the world, we have to be competitive in all respect. Even in the cost competition, we have to be competitive. Another important thing, which we always emphasize is the writing of research. See, we have just launched one program. I was seeing that academic writing, very, very important, because unless until you do a good writing, you cannot be accepted as a good researcher, or you cannot write in good journals. So writing is extremely important. So you must understand that besides communication, the writing is also very, very important. And then another important thing is the collaboration. See, always we sometimes do things exclusively, but that cannot happen. If you get an idea, discuss with your colleagues, discuss with other departments. I have never seen that people from Hindi or humanities department talking to mathematics department, talking to computer science department, that how can they pursue their passion in arts and humanities with the help of science. So these things are extremely important for a good research. That's why we are trying here. So we cannot make you researcher in a day. We cannot make you researcher in 15 days. But what we are trying, we are giving you an idea. We are trying that you should develop these ideas and pursue your passion. So that is our aim. And I believe that the kind of report submitted, probably you must have got the idea, and you will pursue a better, or you can be a better researcher learning these techniques. Similarly, see, we are always open to various kind of collaboration. There is a scheme of Government of India, Vidya Vistar scheme, in which we can help each other. It is not that you will help us. We can also help you, or collaboratively we can do each other's help. And unless until the educational institutions collaborate, we cannot achieve efficiency in this direction. As you all know, see, education, research, this is a public good. It is very rare that this translate into a commercial purpose, but most of the time it is very difficult to relate it in terms of finances that education provides. But education is extremely important as a public good, and we must spend whatever we can, both as a government, both as individuals, both as philanthropists, corporates, to achieve this public good, because that is the basic thing for the country. Now, advantage in this country is that the country has a lot of young population, and probably that is the reason we can compete with the world. See, China has also started aging. The other European countries, advanced countries, have started aging, but we still have a lot of young people. So we need to exploit this time. And again, we have to be, provide a direction to the world, just like a Vishwaguru we used to be in terms of education. So why we cannot be Vishwaguru in each and every area, whether it is technology, whether it is education, whether it is research, whether it is innovation. So we need to think in this direction. And again, the another important thing is that we need to open up ourselves for the world. We need to give the technology, we need to take the technology from all over the world. Of course, the policy which needs to be adopted is that it should be beneficial to the country as such. So with this, I'm not, taking much of your time. The basic thing is that the programs which we offer, our purpose is to give you the concept, and then it is up to you to follow that dream. That is very important. And again, I always say that technology is the key. So also introduce this concept of technology to your students in the classroom. You may not teach that technology, but if you are able to introduce that, the students will learn. and that will increase their employability, that will increase their career goals. So that is also the job of a academician today, because we cannot say that our job is just to teach and just to do research and we have nothing to do with the employment or with any other thing. No, it is not like that. It is our endeavor that the product which we produce should be placed with the best in the industry or in the in any other organization. With this, once again, thank you very much, and welcome to Professor God, as well as to all the participants who have joined us in large numbers, maybe I think around 2000. This is again a feather in the cap that Ramanujan College programs have become so popular that each program we launch, large number of people join these programs. That means we are maintaining the quality of these programs. All of you have joined this program not only for promotions, not only for just certificates, but probably for learning something new. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Agarwal. Indeed, the job of a teacher is more than just completing the syllabus and teaching the students. We have now our participants. We have a few participants who want to share their experience with us about their journey of 15 days and what they learned and how they felt about the program. I request the participants to be crisp in their feedback. And on this note, may I please request Dr. Minakshi Mishra from Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow, to share her experience with her.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Suman sir, and all team of Ramanujan College for giving this opportunity to share my feedback regarding this refresher course. I would suggest one thing. Sir, please conduct MATLAB software to learning in this session, regarding next orientation or refresher or any FDP program. Very good software, sir, MATLAB, because I am working on that. I would suggest.
Sure. We will use your services to teach our participants in future.
Or otherwise, I will tell ki all sessions were very good, and Nikhil Rajput sir, he explained all about this sessions very nice, and one more ma'am in core ma'am, yeah. This session was also good, and overall all explanations and regarding softwares and research area, all are very good. So please, for MATLAB software, you can concern with resource person so that we learning very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mishra. I guess Dr. Rajput and Professor Agarwal has taken into cognizance about your MATLAB request. Next, we have Dr. Praful Ingole from Bhusawal Arts, Science and Technology, Commerce College. May I request Dr. Ingole to please share his feedback?
From which place, Shipra, please?
Just give me a sec for that, sir.
Bhusawal, Maharashtra.
Yes.
Maharashtra, sir.
Okay.
Dr. Ingole.
मैडम, हाँ, नमस्ते मैडम, नमस्कार मित्रों, मैं प्रोफेसर प्रफुल्ल इंगोले, पीओ नाटा कॉलेज भुसावल।
Yes sir, please go ahead.
हाँ सर, नमस्कार मित्रों, आज हमारे कोर्स का ये अंतिम दिन है। पिछले 30 जनवरी से हम रामानुजन कॉलेज दिल्ली आयोजित 2 वीक रिफ्रेशर कोर्स एफडीपी ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम के तहत एडवांस रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी टूल्स एंड टेक्निक्स इस शीर्षक के अंतर्गत विभिन्न प्रोफेसरों के ज्ञान को संग्रहित कर रहे हैं। प्रथमतः मैं रामानुजन कॉलेज दिल्ली के ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमेटी का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं कि उन्होंने खूबसूरत ज्ञानवर्धक प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज किया है। मैं बताना चाहता हूं कि मैं आर्ट्स फैकल्टी से हूं। हम लोगों को टेक्निकली नॉलेज में थोड़ी दिक्कत आती है, पर इस कोर्स में हमें इतने सहज ढंग से सादी सरल भाषा में सिखाने से हमें टेक्निकल नॉलेज अच्छे से ज्ञात हुआ है। इस कोर्स में इफेक्टिव रिसर्च राइटिंग, प्लेगरिज्म, लैटेक्स इंट्रोडक्शन टू रिसर्च, रिसर्च डिजाइन, क्वालिटी एंड क्वांटिटेटिव एनालिसिस, इन विभिन्न विषयों पर विभिन्न अध्यापकों ने प्रभावशाली अध्यापन किया, जिससे मैं डॉक्टर विभाष कुमार, डॉक्टर निखिल राजपूत, डॉक्टर जसप्रीत कौर इन प्राथमिक रूप में नाम लेना चाहूंगा। इन सभी अध्यापकों की टीचिंग से हमारी एडवांस रिसर्च में रुचि और ज्ञान की लालसा बढ़ गई है। मुझे लगता है कि ये गुड मैनेजमेंट, बेटर प्लानिंग और बेस्ट वेल क्वालिफाइड स्टाफ, इनकी वजह से ये कार्यक्रम सक्सेस हो गया है। और आखिर में मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि रामानुजन कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल डॉक्टर एसपी अग्रवाल सर, डॉक्टर आशीष शुक्ला, डॉक्टर निखिल राजपूत, सिप्रा मैडम, इन सबका मैं दिल से इन सबको मैं बधाई देता हूं। और उसी के साथ टीचिंग और नॉन टीचिंग स्टाफ, इन्होंने ही जो मेहनत की है, जो आज रंग लाई है, तो मुझे लगता है कि आने वाले दिनों में आप सब इससे भी अच्छे कोर्स डिजाइन करके लोगों की ज्ञान लालसा बढ़ाओगे, यकीन है हमें ये। इतना कह के मैं रुकता हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Ingole. Next, we have from Odisha Government College of Engineering, Dr. Umakant. Dr. Umakant, please share. I request you to please share your experience with us. Yeah. Do we? I think we have lost connection with Dr. Umakant. So we can move forward for the session. And for today's session, our chief guest is Professor Ramesh Gaur. As principal sir introduced Professor Ramesh Gaur. Professor Ramesh Gaur is currently the Dean, Director and Head Culinary Division at Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, New Delhi, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. He is one of the most senior faculty in IGNCA and also officiates for member secretary whenever he is on tour or on leave. As a Dean IGNCA, he is responsible for management and smooth running of various academic programs, including 7 PG diploma courses and 5 short-term certificate courses in various disciplines, such as cultural management, South Asian studies, Buddhism, digital library and data management, cultural informatics, screenwriting, ethnographic documentaries, amongst others. Amongst the many administrative responsibilities and many feathers to his hat, Professor Gaur, if I have to sum up, he has played a very pivotal role in creating awareness, education, and training on and about research publication ethics, particularly on plagiarism in India, be it his role in Jawaharlal Nehru University or IGNCA or other institutions which he was, associated with. He has been a very important member in creating awareness around research ethics. He has also been the member of University Grant Commission and erstwhile MHRD Committee for drafting UGC regulations of 2018, and has conducted and delivered around 100 workshops and invited talks on plagiarism, its detection and avoidance. Professor Gaur has significantly contributed in digitization, digital archiving of Indian cultural heritage, promoting open access, particularly electronic thesis and dissertation, preservation of Indian languages through language documentation and digital archiving, research data management and research methodology, awareness about preservation of access to documentary heritage, particularly through UNESCO Memory of the World's Program, Intangibles Cultural Heritage, Archival and Information Science, etc. Having been traveled widely across the continent, Professor Gaur has been a part of many pertinent meetings and other professional tasks. So it is always a pleasure to have you, sir, with us. On this note, may I please request you to kindly deliver your address to the participants.
Thank you, Dr. Shipra, for your very kind and generous introduction. Thank you, Dr. Agrawal. It indeed a great honor. Always you give so much honor to me. And I always feel Ramanujan team as my family. And you as a leader of that family is fabulous. And I don't have any doubt in saying that Teaching Learning Center of Ramanujan College has emerged a model teaching learning center. It may not have been designated officially, but I'm sure it should be because this is the wide variety of courses and program and the excellent team, Shipra, Bipin, Nikhil, Ashish, everybody else, they are so enthusiastic, and they're so dynamic, and the feedback is very much justifying my remarks that if you have a great team leader and a great team, result bound to happen, and that's happening in this particular teaching learning center. So this another feather in your cap. A
Thank you,
great
sir.
team, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
So this course, advanced research methodology, tools and techniques. It's a wonderful program. I've seen the report, and Dr. Agrawal in his Malcolm introduction, he highlighted two very important things. One is the importance of reading. Another, advanced research tools and technologies. So basically, here in such programs, it help you in how to do research. And in this entire research process, I would like to bring to your attention three, four important topics, and I will try to share my experience and understanding, and would like to, because this is a valedictory session, and after that you will be uh, going to your institutions and working, doing research, guiding research, and also bringing out various kind of research publication. So as a faculty, first I congratulate you on the successful completion of this course, and then a few tips to further enhance your knowledge about understanding on this particular important topic. So let me, the four important thing which I believe must every researcher should have is, one is that what to read, what not to read, what to search, what not to search. Second thing, which is very important, you should know various kind of guidelines pertaining uh, doing research, uh, writing research, publishing research, and also a summation of the research. Then third important thing is various kind of research and publication ethics. See, this research integrity or academic integrity, we call it, it applies when you start your research. And the last thing which I would like to speak is various kind of advanced technologies in doing research, in writing research, in research data analysis and publishing research, and selecting various kind of journals, quality journals. So being a person with live information science background, and also otherwise as a researcher, I always feel a good research only can be done if you know the subject well. You can formulate a good proposal only when you have good resources at your disposal. We are blessed with internet. Internet is having many things, but please remember, internet is not a substitute for library. Internet is not even a substitute for digital library. Internet can never be a substitute for library. Internet is very useful. I'm not denying any importance of internet. So as a good researcher, the first thing you should read the authenticated peer-reviewed library resources. Select the publication either in print or in electronic form from the library on your subject. Even while doing research, literature review, you should understand that authenticated library sources are very, very important. When I speak on this searching techniques, one important thing is that what is we call deep web. Internet is divided into surface web, deep web, and dark web. Surface web is what you search on Google. And when you search on Google, Google never give you an authenticity that information you search on Google is authenticated or fake, or it's a misinformation or disinformation. Second point about Google or any other standard search engine, then when you are searching on Google or any standard search engines, the first result is not what you are looking for. I was searching for best open access journal, and first result was Omics International, which is a predatory publisher. Third thing, when you search on internet will never give you the kind of information which is always there on internet, because internet at Google and other standard search engine just index 15 to 20% web content. Rest 80 to 85% web contents are not indexed by Google or any standard search engine, and that important information when you are searching on Google you are missing. So what is the alternative? Alternative is that beside the search engine, you should also refer DeepWeb. DeepWeb is something mostly free, and you should learn how to search on DeepWeb. Your librarian can guide you. Some of my talks, I have a YouTube channel under the name of Professor Dr. Ramesh C. Gaur. Hundreds of my talks are available under open access, and few of the talks on this DeepWeb search engines are also there. So you can go to my YouTube channel and you can listen my talks on this DeepWeb search engine. Because here it's a military address, I cannot speak you more about. So that's very important. So my first message is that become a good reader. Only then you can become a good researcher. If you don't know your subject, you cannot never do a good research. Now, second thing is the guidelines. I would like to bring your attention to the various guidelines in this regard. UGC has certain guidelines. First thing is that recently in September 2020, UGC has come out with a document called Good Academic Research Practices, GARP, which talks about various kind of research and publication ethics and academic integrity and various kind of research misconduct, falsification, fabrication, and other research misconduct. So you must read that document. Second important thing that you should be aware that UGC has come out with plagiarism regulation, academic integrity of promotion of academic integrity in higher education institution. It was launched in 2018. It was gazette notified in 2018 July. So you should read, because all your future plagiarism issues are dealt with that. Then third, UGC has come out with a quality list of reference journal, UGC care list. You should know about that. So you should publish only on those journals. Then there is another very interesting UGC regulation, which is must for all universities to follow, that your PhD student or your thesis should be available in ESOR Ganga repository within 30 days of award of the degree. So these guidelines you must know and must refer. Now, next thing I'm coming to is understanding research and publication ethics. See, research ethics are being followed from the first step. There's a formulation of proposal. Then how to submit the proposal. Then after that, how to do research. It may be transparency in this doing research, in following various kind of human and animal topics in the research, honesty, transparency, and various kind of copyright issues. All these research ethics, which is a wide variety of research ethics. Some of my talks are there on my YouTube channel on this also. So you should understand what are the different kind of research and publication ethics, and you should follow in doing research, in research data analysis, in research writing and research publishing. At every step, there are different kind of research ethics, and you have to deal with. When we talk about research and publication ethics, it's mainly deal with publication of your research, which is basically these are the regulations or guidelines or kind of code of conduct between author, publisher, reviewer, editor, etc. So I think this is important for you to understand research and publication. Now the topic which I am coming is very, very important, and I'm sure the team at Ramanujan must have given you a lot of value things. One of the participant suggested MATLAB, and I'm coming to the use of research technologies, advanced research technologies in doing research, in collecting the data, in analyzing the data, in writing the research thesis, and also plagiarism detection and also publishing. So let's begin with the first step in the research is the proposal formulation. So as I suggested that you should know very well about library resources, various kind of quality internet resources, deep web and other search engines, and a number of tools and technologies. And you should ask your library to develop a good access system by using remote access and discovery technologies. So a lot of technology play very important, and library is one of the most important component in this first step of use of technology for uh, providing access to the good library resources and other resources. Now, the second level is that when you are doing literature review, many times people feel that literature review is just to write a paper, a chapter in the thesis, or just to complete the process. Literature review is the process through which your understanding about the subject is enhanced. You able to know the subject well, and that should be taken very seriously. And all searching techniques and tools I'm talking about is part of literature review. Now, second thing is the designing of questionnaire. Now, you have various kind of tools for designing a questionnaire, technological tools like it may be monkey survey, and a number of such technique. Because advantage of using technology for data collection is multifold. You didn't need not to put it in a digital format again because it's automatically collected digitally. And then next step is after uh, data collection is data analysis. Here you need to understand about various kind of tools like even Excel is used for data analysis, um, SPSS or R software. So I'm sure you should choose either one of them to according to the suitability of research, and then you must know about these tools and technologies. Then after data analysis, the next important thing is that how to write a good quality research thesis. So first, you like we all Indians comes from different regions, and many of us are having difficulty or face a very difficult situation in writing in English because English is not our mother tongue. We have several mother tongues. So in that case, you can take some help in some good quality grammar support soft system like Grammarly. Grammarly is one of the very good tool which can help you in writing of your thesis. Grammarly is having another advantage while writing a thesis. It also help you in avoiding some plagiarism. It also help you in calculating the basic percentage of plagiarism. But it is not a perfect software for plagiarism. So while writing, first thing is you should know about grammar. Second thing is how to check the plagiarism. So for plagiarism in India, there are three basic software. Turnitin and Authenticate. Turnitin is more suitable for universities and colleges. Authenticate is more suitable for research. And Urkund is being provided free by the Inflimed Center, the member of the eSource consortia, universities, institutions which are part of eSource consortia. Undoubtedly, quality of plagiarism software is based on the content matching and also the kind of uh, languages it covers. So in that way, undoubtedly, plagiarism checking software, we have to recommend the best. Currently, Turnitin and Authenticates are best. Urkund is also good software, but it is having limitation of limited resources for content batching. So when you are checking contents with the Urkund or Turnitin, there will be a difference. There will be less similarities in Urkund as compared to Turnitin because Turnitin is having more content matching databases. Now, next thing is referencing. Referencing play a very important role in avoiding plagiarism. So you should have an understanding of referencing. What is bibliography? What is annotated bibliography? Difference between bibliography and annotated bibliography, endnote, footnote, and also how to cite, what not to cite. So various kind of citation reference management systems are very important for you. So you should use reference management tools like EndNote is available free from Web of Science. And then Mendeley is supported by Elsevier and one of the very good software. I'm sure you might have gone through some training in that. Then Zotero is the another good reference management tools. So these reference management tools help you in quality citation. The next level of thing is that now you have written an article. Now, how to choose a good quality journal? See, many times people write an article and then they later choose a journal. My suggestion is first you decide in which journal you want to publish your research. Then how to choose a good quality journal? For a good quality journal, you should have two things in mind. One is that there are various kind of journal finders, databases. So first thing you should prepare abstract of your article, abstract of your book, and then title. So using that abstract and the title, you should use various kind of journal finder databases. Elsevier is having its own journal finder, Biley is having its own journal finder database, Springer is having its own journal finder database. There are some common journal finder databases. One of my article, my talk is also available on my YouTube channel regarding this, how to choose a quality journal. You can refer that. It will provide you detailed items. So you choose a journal according to your subject. And there are various criteria to select a journal, like reputation of journal, its editorial board, its scope, its visibility, its reputation. So number of parameters I have given in that my talk. Then after choosing a journal, the next important thing is you have to verify, is this journal is part of UGC care list or not? What is this UGC care list? It is a list of recommended journals by UGC, and it is in the two parts. One part is the all journals which are covered in Scopus and Web of Science, and second part is those journals which are not part of Scopus and Web of Science, but they are quality journal. And UGC care is having certain protocols and parameters based on it decide which journal should be included in that list two. List one. List two is the list of all Scopus and Web of Science databases. So then you should check what journal you have selected for your research publication. Is it part of that UGC care list or not? If it is not, you should not publish it. And that's my recommendation. Because if you publish in a journal which is not part of UGC care list, you will not get a research score in promotion or in your recruitments and other places. So this is another important thing to choose a journal. So now you have submitted a journal, your article has been published, and apart from that, how to enhance the visibility of research. It is important that your research should reach out to the people, and in that context, you can think of open access journals provide better visibility and better citation. So now your next thing is how to enhance the visibility of research. So for that, you should be part of academia or various kind of other ResearchGate and Faculty 1000. Such platform help you in enhancing the visibility of research. It also help you in research in progress. It also help you in connecting with various kind of researcher all of the world. But beside that, one thing which I missed is that you should register on ORCID. ORCID is the registry system for researcher. It's just like other ID for Indian citizen. So in that context, you should be part of this such particular research forum, like ORCID and other things. So in this context, when we talk about further enhancing the citation, you should have an account in Google Scholar. You should be regularly promoting your research through various kind of research management system. And at the end, I will suggest you that as a good researcher, you should have your good citation profile. Overall, whatever I have covered in this brief talk, I know time is limited. I think I have already exceeded my time. I will not go more into that. If you want to enhance your further understanding about this subject, as I recommended, my YouTube channel, I have several hundreds of talks, which every day I'm giving on the different universities and institutions. At IGNCA, we are also conducting some 12-week research methodology course, which is online. We'll be announcing very soon. So my suggestions to you, whatever you have learned in this course, must do practice, because if you don't practice it, you will forget about it. And excellent inputs have been given to you. Now you consider yourself as a train the trainer and go and train your students and other faculty colleague in institution. You should organize such program in your own college, because these and one thing which I missed is UGC has approved a 2-credit course on research and publication ethics, which is mandatory for every PhD students. So you should start that course in your institution. With these words, I wish you all the very best, and see, quantity doesn't matter, quality matters. So bring out a quality research publication. Don't worry how many of your paper has been published. Think how best quality paper you have published. Only one quality paper is make you best researcher in the world. So quality matters, not the quantity. With these words, best wishes to you, and once again I thanks Dr. Agrawal and his entire team for giving me this honor and opportunity to share my views with all the participants. And it is always wonderful to speak. I know I can speak for hours. I'm very passionate about this subject, but I'm sure the time is over. And with these words, I thank you all, and namaskar, all the best.
Thank you so much, Professor Gaur. Your passion is very much of value to us, because every session you come, there's a new information which I'm sure personally I always benefit from it, and participants also have a very good understanding after listening to you. So thank you so much for giving us time for, today on a Sunday. Thank you so much once again. So to conclude with this 2-week refresher course, may I please request Dr. Ashish Kumar Shukla, Department of Statistics, Ramanujan College, and one of the dedicated member of our organizing team, to kindly propose the vote of thanks, formal vote of thanks.
Thanks, Shipra. A very good morning to all of you. On behalf of Ramanujan College and Teaching Learning Center, I would also like to thank my special gratitude to our program chief guest, Professor Ramesh C. Gaur, sir, for accepting our invitation and being with us. Thank you so much, sir, for your inspirational and motivational word. I also like to thank our principal and TLC director, Professor S.P. Agrawal, sir, who always encouraging and guiding us always. Thank you so much, sir, for supporting us always. In my thank you row, I also would like to thank our program collaborator, Assam University, Silchar, Assam, and coordinator from this university, Dr. Aditi Nath, for all her support. I also like to thank our resource person for developing content of the program in recorded video and live sessions as well. I also like to thank program committee members Dr. Nikhil Kumar Rajput, Mr. Bipin Rathi, Dr. Sachin Tomar, Dr. Sahil Pathak, Ms. Shipra Yadav for their hard work during the entire program. I also like to thanks to our non-teaching team for their cooperation during the program. I also like to say thanks to stakeholders of our program, our participants. Thank you very much, all of you. Lastly, I say sorry if I forget to mention any name in my thank you row. Thank you once again to all of you. Thank you so much. Shipra ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ashish Shukla. Thanks to you also for being a pivotal, important part of this organizing team. There's an announcement, participants. Please note that the certificates for this program will be issued in the next 15 working days, and the link to download the same will be given on the official Telegram channel, which which you are part of. So please, cooperate with us, and within 15 working days, we will try to give you your certificates. And thank you everyone once again. Thank you for joining with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Shipra. Thank you, Ashish. All the best, and keep doing great work. Proud of